Hello, wonderful families. Welcome to this amazing adventure called online home learning. As we navigate these waters together, I want you to know that I have full faith in our combined abilities to troubleshoot and learn how to do this as a team. We missed last week on our March calendar, so we will be shifting our schedule back a week, and I plan on sending home a calendar for April too in the near future. I'll be helping you with language arts, and Miss Melanie will be helping you with our math lessons. So let's look at the required assignments and the optional ones. And if you look at the letter, this is what it says. So we're going to be looking at it in order. The first two things are about iReady, and it's for a minimum of 45 minutes a week in both reading and math. If you want to do more, that would be wonderful. I would probably suggest doing 20 minutes a day in each if your student can handle that. That doesn't include the learning games though. This is just for the lessons. If they want to play the learning games that are in iReady, then that's in addition to the lesson minutes. So that's entirely up to you. The next thing on the list is 20 minutes of daily reading. And really, this would be your student reading to you. You don't need to do this all at once. You can split it up throughout the day, and if needed, you can read to your student too. Please also be sure to ask your student about what they read. Comprehension is so important, and it's the whole reason that we read. After all, why read if you don't understand what you just read? When you ask your student about what they read, it can count toward their reading minutes, unless it takes more than about 7 minutes. The 1 minute of timed reading and the 1 minute of nonsense word practice, as well as any sight word practice you can fit in, will count towards this goal. You can either record this in a Word document or the copy paper that's attached to this letter that was emailed you. So the 20 minutes of reading can be recorded on this, or I'm going to email you a digital copy that you can keep track of on the computer. And that one looks like this. It's organized per week. So either one you want to use. This one you can download and use on the computer, and the other one is a paper record if you have access to a printer or copier. So now that we have practice timed reading, you will be getting one reading passage to practice every day, and your student should read it for 1 minute. And you will need to record how many words they are able to read in 1 minute minus their incorrect words. This timed reading should be practiced every day with the same reading passage. If you feel that this passage is too difficult for your child, please let me know and I'll get you an easier one for them. Please let me know also if it's too easy, and I'll help you by getting a more difficult passage. By the end of the year, students should be able to read at least 45 words per minute correct in the type of text that we'll be sending in 1 minute. Nonsense words is another thing that we're asking you to help your student practice. We do this every day in school. Students should be able to read the whole word altogether. In other words, they shouldn't sound out. For example, if the nonsense word is this, they should be able to look at it, think about it, and then say jub. So they should be able to read it inside their head. They shouldn't say jub. That's sounding it out. So if they want to put it on their lips, that's what I've talked to them about doing, and going and then saying jub, that's okay. But they need to be able to read it in their heads and not sound it out. If your student is struggling with this, let us know and we can talk about some strategies. By the end of the year, your student should be able to read 35 whole nonsense words correctly in 1 minute. If your student is getting at least 40 consistently in 1 minute, you can skip the nonsense words practice. If not, please help your student practice every day. We will be sending you a new sheet of nonsense words to practice every week. If you can't print it, just have your student read both the timed reading and the nonsense words on the screen, and then record the results digitally in the document that will be sent. And so it says name of the passage for the week, and you write that here, then the date, words read correctly, words missed, and then signature. And then there's the nonsense word, date, words read correctly in 1 minute, missed words, signature. If you're doing this online, you can just write your name or your initials there. So the next category is sight words. So we'll send in this document, you'll see that there's a copy of the first 100 fry words, the second and the third for fry words. And then there's a website here that has flashcards that you can print. So those are good resources for sight words. So you don't need to record how many sight words they know, but try to practice at least 5 of them that they're struggling with every day. You can test them once with the whole list, like the first 100. That's what I would start with. And then narrow the list down to the words they don't know, and then choose 5 to 10 of them to practice every day. You can write them on index cards, on paper that's been cut into smaller pieces, use them as flashcards. You can also have them practice creatively with sugar, sands, shaving cream. There's lots of ideas online too. If you need more help with this, or your student is struggling, let us know and we can set up a virtual meeting and work with them on the sight words and with you. The last thing on this list is the daily writing prompt, where they're going to be expected to respond using 3 to 5 sentences to a question. So I will read the prompts for each day on this YouTube, and I will send them with the email and resources document. That's what this is. Are you ready to be creative and dive into this adventure? Please excuse this next session. I'm going to be using my student talk as I will be speaking mostly to your first graders. Parents, please listen in too, because you will need this information and I will periodically break to talk specifically to you. Please be patient with this first YouTube and with the email that goes along with it, because they will both be longer than the subsequent ones. You will be using a lot of the materials that are in here and the directions that I'm going to give throughout our online schooling, our schooling at home time. This week we're going to be reviewing our long vowel patterns. Vowels are very special because they're in every single word and they're in every single syllable. Vowels have a very special job. They open our mouths. Consonants are all the other letters besides the vowels, and their job is to what? Do you remember? Their job is to close our mouths in some way. They can close our mouths with our tongue or with our lips. So if you remember, first graders, A, E, I, O, U are vowels. So this week we're going to be talking about our long vowels. These are all the long vowel spellings that we have already talked about and we've already practiced them. We're just going to be reviewing them. Long A, which is like saying the letter A's name, is spelled with the magic E. Remember what the magic E is? It's like these words. We've got, see if you can say them before I do. Lake. Good job if you were able to say them before I did. Here's the next one. 8. Made. This one's a little tricky. Whale. These are all super E words. It's when the E jumps over the consonant. There's our consonant, K, and makes the A say its name. A. So what we say with that is we go, every vowel says its name when super E is in the game. Let's do that one more time. Every vowel says its name when super E is in the game. Good job if you did that with me. All right, the next spelling for long A is AI. Here are some words that have AI in them. See if you can read them before I do. Paid. Tail. Daisy. And the last one is stain. And for this one, we say, wait, there's rain. Wait, there's rain. AI. It matches one of our stories. Let's do that one more time. Wait, there's rain. wait, there's rain. A, A, A-I. And then we oftentimes spell it in the air. We also use the vowel friends A-Y for the long vowel spelling of A. Here's some words that have the A-Y spelling. Stay. One's a little longer. Today. We have this one that you guys like. That one is also a sight word. Play. And then all of our days of the week have A. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They all have A-Y. Now, A-I always goes in the middle of our words. And A-Y will always go at the end of our words. So, to help us remember that, we go like this. A-I says A like rain, rain, rain. A-Y says A like play, play, play. A-I goes in the middle, A-Y goes at the end, and that helps us to remember that. The last place that we find long A is at the end of syllables. So syllables split words into parts. So if I split Leonardo's name, I would say Leonardo. I'm looking at you, Leonardo. That's how we split it, right? He has 4 syllables in his name. So here are some letters, or words, I mean, that have the long A in syllables. I'm going to box these off so we can keep them with their own groups. Okay, here are some of those words. Acorn. So that splits like this. So that's at the end of the syllable, so the vowel says its name. Acorn. Here's the next one. See if you can read it before me. Okay. Lady. So that A is at the end of the syllable. Here's another one. See if you can tell where it splits. Table. All right. Good job if you were able to figure that out. That is our long A review. Okay, so now we have long E. Long E, which is like saying the letter E's name, E, is spelled with magic E too. So let's make our magic E area. And then here are some words for long E, for a magic E. I'm only gonna do 3 of them. These. That one. Here. This one's longer. See if you can get this before me. Compete. So this one, they're all going into the E is going to make the E say its name. And remember, that's when we go, every vowel says its name when super E is in the game. Yeah. Okay. So the next spelling that we have is our EE together. That's our double E. Kind of like super E because the E's are together. It's like this E is making that E say its name. So some of these words are B, queen. This one, see, this one's a little bit longer. Breeze. Okay, and then we also use the vowels friends E and A when they're together to make words like these. We go with our E-A. Okay. Speak. Grease. Leash. Okay, good job if you were able to read them before I was, because that was fast. Another place we find the long I is at the end of syllables, just like the long A. So here's some words that have the end of syllables long E. Here's a place. This is Egypt. So this long E is because of the split. It's right before the split. Now the G says the J sound because remember G-I-G-E-G-Y, J, Egypt. This is in math. Okay, see if you can read it. Equal. That's how you do that. And then the last one I'm going to write down is this one. Ego. That means how you feel about yourself. All right, the very last spelling for long E is with a Y. And this spelling is found at the end of longer words. So let's look at some of those words. Okay, happy. I'm just gonna look at 2 more words. This one's longer. Money. Donkey. Good job if you got those. Sometimes this Y pairs along with an E for the long E sound. Now with this one, we usually say happy Y, long E, happy Y, long E, 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 like he's laughing. Now we've got our long I, which is like saying the name of the letter, I. So let's talk about how we spell that. First of all, what do you think we spell it with? A magic E. Good job if you said that. So a magic E. This is how the I goes with the magic E. Here's some words for that. Okay, kite. Gonna go a little faster. These ones are pretty easy. Dime. Smile. Smile. Okay, that is our super E. And remember what we do for that? We go, every vowel says its name when super E is in the game. Good job if you said that with me. Okay, the next spelling we've got is with I-G-H. And the kids really love that story. They'll have to tell it to you. Bright. This one's longer. Tonight. Light. All right, so the way we do this one is we go nighttime bright. Nighttime bright. I-I-I-I-G-H. And we like to spell it in the air if we can remember that. All right, the next long I is at the end of syllables. You can get it. Pilot. This one's a little tricky. It looks like it should be ID, but if you wiggle the sounds a little, you should be able to tell it's idea. All right, and there's where the I says its name because it's right next to the syllable break. Okay, the last one we have here is item. Looks like, sounds like item, but it's actually item. If you kind of squeeze the sounds together a little, that's how it sounds. All right. The last way is with the long I with the Y at the end. Those are shorter words. So those words are words like this. My, by, try. Sorry, I read that before you had a chance. And what we do with this one is we go sly Y, long I, sly Y, long I, ay, 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 ay. Now remember, the Y at the end of longer words says the long E. The Y at the end of shorter words says the long, what? I. So it goes sly Y, shorter words, happy Y, longer words. All right, so A-E-I-O. That's the next one. So we've got our super E-O words. What's that one? Froze. That one. Stone. Oh, I'm gonna fix my S up. There we go. What's that one? Rose. Good job if you said it before me. Okay, so that's our super E. Okay, and remember, every vowel says its name when super E is in the game. Okay, O-A, when those two vowels are together, they say the name of O, like this word. What's that one? Boat. That one. Throat. Last one. Coach. Okay. Now this vowel is usually found in the middle or at the end? What do you think? In the middle. O-A combination is usually found in the middle of our words. Okay, the next one, see if you can remember it, O-W. Oh, I almost forgot to do our O-A thing. Here we go. Boat rocks goat. Boat rocks goat. O-O-O-A. All right, and we've got our O-W. Now, O-W is not usually found in the middle. It's usually found at the end. So for our O-W, here are some of our O-W words. Mow. Window. And the last word is a color, I think, yellow. All right. That's with our O-W, and we say, oh, there's snow. Oh, there's snow. Oh, O-W. Okay, good job if you did that with me. Another place we find long O is at the end of a syllable, just like before. So, if you can read that, robot. Next one is that one, hotel. And the last one is a musical instrument. You may have heard of it. It's called a banjo. So this one's at the end of the syllable that's at the end of the word. All right, the last way is with an O-E. Kind of like the super E. And so some of those words are, there's not a ton of them, but there's some that are pretty common, like toe. Foe means enemy. And this type of doe is a deer. That is a girl deer. All right, that takes care of long O. A-E-I-O-U. Okay, that's the last one. Hang in there for the last one. So long U is like saying the letter's name U, right? Long U. So first we have our magic E. Okay, see if you can think of magic E long U words. While you think of those, I'm gonna write a few of them down, then we're gonna read them off. Okay. Okay, hopefully you've read all of these. Let's see what they are. June, cube, and mute. So this is the long U with the magic E. So it jumps over. Okay, then after the Magic E, then we've got, think. What is it? Okay. See if you can come up with this one. UI, when they're together, they say the long U. And then we have another one. The last one is what? Yeah, EW. Think about it. Which one goes in the middle and which one goes at the end? If you said that UI goes in the middle, you're right. Where would that leave EW? At the end, right. Okay, so here are some words with UI. Okay, see if you can read those. All right, fruit, juice. Now, why is it an S sound instead of a C sound? That's because of the E. C-I-C-E-C-Y. And then suitcase. Let's look at some of our EW words. Okay, ready? Through, stew, and flew. If you did that, great job. Then we've combined both of those stories into one little saying that we go, fruit in stew, fruit in stew, ew, ew, U-I-E-W. Okay, all right, I bet you can guess the next one. The next one's at the end of syllables. Okay, so here's some of those words. These are longer, two of them are longer. See if you can read them. Okay, now I'm gonna read them. See if your reading matches mine. Music, student, Cupid. Those are all right next to the syllable break. The last place we find long U is UE, kind of like the super E. Here are some words with that. Blue, glue, and true. Good job if you read those with me. Okay, so that is our teaching for our long vowels. Thank you for sticking with me. I know that that was really long. If you need to split this up, that's okay. So if you would like to help your student practice these words, one optional resource is one that's in the document right here, that you can find lists of the long vowel spellings and their words that match. And what you can do is you can have them have a whiteboard or a plain piece of paper with a page protector, and you say the words. So you would say something like fruit, and then you'd say, okay, write it on your whiteboard. When it's done, show me. And then you would count down maybe 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then, okay, show me now. And they would flip it over, show you the word, and then you'd review it together and go, okay, did we get it right? Do we need to work on it? So that's one option that you can do. This is not required, but if your student is having problems, it will help. So I'll be sending also some worksheets to you, and these are also optional. You can either print them out and have them work on them, or you can, depending on the worksheet, you can have them look at it, tell you the answers, or write the answers down on a plain piece of paper. And remember, I said we'd get creative, so those are some creative things to do, is write it down on paper while they're looking at the computer. As mentioned before, there will be a writing prompt, one per day, for students to work on. Sentences need to start with what? If the students are still watching you, they should know it starts with a capital and it ends with a period. So please check your students off after they're done. Words don't need to be spelled properly, but they should at least be sound spelled. So in other words, if they write the word paper, if they spell it like this, technically that says paper. It's not a big deal. They don't have to spell everything correctly. Or they might spell it like this. Again, it's still okay. But they should not spell it something like this. They're mixing these two sounds up. So if they're spelling something like that, then just help them correct it and switch the two letters. They should also have spaces between words. That's something that we've worked on really hard, and we don't want them to get out of the habit. And so the other thing that's important for them is that they need to please not put capitals where they don't belong. So if they're writing a sentence, the dog has a log. Please correct these. This should not be a capital. It should be a lowercase. Have them erase it and fix it. This should not be a capital. Have them erase it and fix it, please. We've worked really hard on trying to help them form their sentences correctly, so when they get in second grade and they start writing paragraphs, they're not struggling with that. All right, so for writing paper, that can be tricky for some of you. So I was gonna go over some ideas for that. I've included, there should be some writing paper both in your letter that you got and in the email here that you can print out. It looks kind of like this, right here. And then if you don't have a printer, here's something that you can do. We can get a little creative here. Grab a plain piece of paper or a lined piece of paper. Grab a book edge and make your own. Here's how you do that. Leave some space for the picture because they're going to be drawing a picture. You're just going to write a line and then you go down. If you're on lined piece of paper, you'll just go down to the next one. Doesn't have to be perfect. Then write the dotted line and then down one. And there you've got one line. Then you need to skip a line because some letters are going to have tails and they need to go under the line. So keep doing this until it's all the way down the paper so that they have room to write 3 sentences. You can even do it on the back if they need it. So keep going. When you're all done and they have their space for their picture, then you can get a page protector, slip it in there, and they've got their own lined paper, and just take a picture of it when you're done because we're going to be gathering these in the end. So they just write their sentence here, take a picture, they'll draw their picture of whatever sentences they drew, and then send it to us or gather them in one spot on your phone and then send it to us at the end of the week. So that's if you don't have the writing paper to be able to print. We're getting creative, right? Okay, so that's one way that you can still do the writing stuff. Let me find the right spot here. Okay, so here's the writing prompt for this week. It will be Monday. What is the craziest dream you have ever had? Now, there's no getting out of this, okay, first graders? Because if you can't remember any crazy dreams, then write about one that you can remember. And guess what? If you can't remember any dreams, write about one of your parents' dreams. Okay? You'll be expected to write at least 3 sentences about that and draw your picture. So 3 sentences and then a picture for all of these writing prompts. Tuesday says, would you rather have it snow or rain? But don't just answer the question. Don't just say snow or rain. You need to use full sentences. So you'll need to say, I would rather have it snow, or I would rather have it rain. And then you gotta tell me why. Maybe you'd rather have it snow because you like to build a snowman. Maybe you'd rather have it rain because you like to splash in the rain. So whatever your reasoning is, it needs to be in there. Again, 3 sentences on each writing prompt. Wednesday, are dogs better pets or are cats better pets? And then you gotta give reasons why. Again, 3 sentences. Remember guys, you need to start your sentences with a capital and end them with a period. You need to put spaces between your words, okay? And you need to only put capitals right where they belong. All right, on Thursday, you'll write about an animal that lives in the ocean. That's up to you. You can write about a dolphin or an octopus, or of course, there's Logan's favorite, which is a shark. Any of those work, but make sure there's 3 sentences. If you need to have your grown-up help you by looking up some facts, that's great. Remember to include lots of adjectives. For example, adjectives are describing words, so you'll want to use colors, you'll want to use how big they are, how little they are, what they might feel like, any of that. And then on Friday, guess what? You get to write about whatever you want to. 3 sentences though. All right, so the next part is optional. If you want to do some science this week, have your student learn how to be a birder. So we've talked about different birds. Have them go outside, see if they can find some of those birds. You can have your students watch the YouTube, that will be in the resources section. And then they can make a life cycle bird mobile, and I'll send an email with that. Thanks so much for bearing with me through this email, and I know it's been a long one, and I hope you have a wonderful week. Remember, this email is not going to be this email is going to be the longest one. The rest of them are going to be a lot shorter because this one's setting up a lot of things. All right, so Miss Melanie and I are all here for you. I want you guys to know that. We all care deeply about you and your families, and we want to be here for you 100%. If you have any questions or any concerns, or you just need reassurance, please let us know. Text us or email us. We're here for you, and we'd be more than happy to help. We will try to answer within an hour between the hours of 9 and 3 each workday. Remember, we will be keeping attendance, so please let us know if your child will not be able to do any schoolwork at all that day, and we will mark them absent. So iReady counts as schoolwork, so even if they're just doing iReady, you know, for a little bit of the day, that still counts, that they're still attending school. Also remember that we are in this together, and we will help you in any way we can. Thank you so much for watching this YouTube. Hopefully the next ones will be shorter, and I will get used to doing this. Thank you. Have a great week. Bye.